Valentine's Day is approaching and you're single, or Valentine's Day is approaching, you're in a relationship, but you feel single, keep watching. Hey, what's up guys? iAmEmman and I'm back with another video. All right, let's get right into it. Being single. So like I said, Valentine's Day is approaching and you're single, or you're in a relationship, but you feel single. Let's start with the fact that being single is not an issue. It's not a problem. Everyone is on their own path. So whether you've been single for the first 30 years of your life, the first 20 years of your life, 25 years, if you're 14, 15 years old and you're still single, that's okay. Like I said, everyone is on their own path in this journey. Being single is not always necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people see what they look at on social media or see what they see in movies and think that's what being in a relationship is all about, or that's the only thing about being in a relationship that's good. There's more to being in a relationship than holding hands and going on dates and kissing and cuddling and all that. There is a lot more to it than that. So people, including myself, see things on social media. We see the good that everyone puts on social media, but in reality, it's more than just that. In addition to being single, not being always bad, being in a relationship is certainly not it. It's not bad. I would actually say it's great. But being in a relationship with someone that you don't belong with, or someone that's not treating you right, is way worse than just being single itself. We have to figure out why we want to be in a relationship. You know, being in a relationship is fine and dandy. It's happy. A lot of times it's running through a field full of flowers. And then you realize as you're running through the flowers, there are bees in the flowers that are pollinating the flowers, yes, but the bees sting you. Or you're running through the flowers, kind of like my camping video. You're running through the flowers and there's a bunch of ticks that get attached to your socks and then start crawling up your legs. And then the reality of the situation is, yes, a relationship is great, but there are other things that come to hinder the relationship. There are other things that come and try to get in between you and your partner. There are things in the relationship about your partner that you won't necessarily love. There are certain things that you need to address, certain things in the relationship that you can and just won't stand for. And those are some of the things that we're going to discuss right now. Like I was saying, being in a relationship is great if you're with the right person that, you know, values you. Being in a relationship with someone who is looking out for your future, looking out for the betterment of your development. But then, like I said before, being in a relationship with someone who sees something on social media and they just want to replicate what they see on social media, that I wouldn't consider the right reason to be in a relationship. Like I said before, you see stuff on social media, but that's not the full. A lot of times, I'm not gonna say all the time, but a lot of times it's not the overall of the relationship, or that's not what's gonna be. I don't want to use the word consistent, because a lot of times what you see on social media or the good that can happen in a relationship can be consistent, but it's not what's going to happen all the time. A lot of times we get into relationships and we get something that's good, like we become dependent on people because they know how to compliment us. And compliments aren't a bad thing, but we get high off of the compliments, or we get high off of what they can do for us, versus being independent and understanding what we deserve and understanding our value. Some females, you guys are a little bit too dependent on a male to tell you how valuable you are, how much you're worth. And some males, you guys, or we, are a little bit too dependent on figuring out how much of a man we are based on what a female says, or how much we could bring to the table based on what a female says. When in reality, you need to understand these things on your own, see how much you're valued on your own, and then bring that to your relationship. But then on the other side of it, you know, like I keep saying, it's a great feeling to be in a relationship with someone who loves you, who makes you feel special. Let's say you build your value on your end and they are building their own value on their end. You guys are both feeling valuable. You guys feel confident in who you are, feel confident in your relationship. You have so much to bring to the table, and then you guys come together and you're living in your relationship and growing in your relationship with each other. With those two things, that is going to be a really strong relationship. It's going to be a much healthier relationship than someone who's depending on the other person to make them feel a certain way, to make them feel valuable, to be told that they are special. And the crazy thing that I realized recently is that a lot of you females have not been told how much of a princess you are, or a lot of you males have not been told how much of a king you are, how special you are. I was talking to, so two stories. One, I was in a car with, I think, 3 females, and we're talking about maybe Valentine's Day, we're talking about a birthday or something. And the topic of flowers came up, and every girl in the car, and they were, I would say, 15 or 16 plus, from that age to 25, 24-ish. And they were talking about how not one of them have ever received a flower, ever. And that like blew my mind, because I don't want to get too much into the detail, but no one ever a flower? That seemed like it legitimately blew my mind. And then I was talking to one of my sisters, right? So I woke up one morning and I sent her a good morning message. I was like, "Good morning, little princess. Have a great day." Something like that. And then we're texting. And then later in the day, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I just realized you called me little princess. No one has ever called me that before." And I'm here like, bro, what is going on? Like, I've grown up being called a king. I've grown up calling the little kids that I had summer camp with. I grew up calling them princes and kings and princess. These things should be normal vocabulary as to where, like, because some people out there, they will draw someone who has not been loved. They will take it to their advantage. So let's say your little sister or your little niece, your cousin is walking down the street, and someone's like, "Hey, princess," and it just goes straight to their head. It's like, no. I know I'm a princess. I know I'm a queen. I know I'm a king. I know I'm a prince. These things have already been instilled in me, so that's not gonna do anything for me. You gotta, it's cute, but reach a little bit higher. Your value should not be determined by what someone else says or what someone else thinks of you. You should know your own value. But first, let's talk about how I got here. All right, so like I said, Valentine's Day is coming up, and I'm single right now. Leave a like, because I'm giving you some personal information right now. I had my first relationship. My first relationship was at either 20 or 21. That was a 4-year relationship. I got into other relationships. I wouldn't really consider them serious relationships, but I was in relationships. All right, a month or two after that, I was in another relationship. That was a 4-month relationship, and it recently ended. Boom. That's how I got here. Now, in the course of that time, between the end of 4 years to this point, there was a lot of self-reflection, a lot of thinking about what went wrong, what didn't go wrong, self-love, self-care, and I want to hit all of that right now, because a lot of that stuff is needed, not only as a single person, but as a person in a relationship also. Let's get into that. Before I tell my story, I do want to remind you that everyone is on their own path. So if you are still single, that is fine. If you were 25, 26, 27, you're still single, that is fine. It's okay. I'm going to explain why it's okay. If you were in your first relationship when you were 12, 13, that's all right. Let's build on that. If it didn't work, we're going to build on that. We're going to work on that. You were in your first relationship when you were 18. If you had your first kiss when you were, 10, and you got into a relationship when you were 11. All of our paths are different. It's okay. We're going to work to just build ourselves, make ourselves better. That's the goal of this video. Like I said, I was in a relationship. I just went through the whole thing. Now, what did I learn in that course of, I want to take the time when I was single. I want to focus on that part. In the course of after 4 years, the 4-year relationship, and now, I learned a lot about myself. I learned what I need in my relationship. I learned what I wanted in my relationship, what I would stand for, wouldn't stand for, and I learned how I wanted to be loved. Let's start with what I feel like I need. One of my biggest things in my relationship that I know I need is someone that can be my mental peace. Well, not be my mental peace, but add to my mental peace. So let's say I have a long day of work, or you have a long day of school, whatever it is, and I come home. There are days where I'm working all day, then I'm on the phone for 2 hours with one person, and then 2 more hours with another person, then 3 hours with another person. So my whole day is packed. Let's say I finish all that, and that night, I'm going to end the night with my person, my girlfriend. I want to come home and have the last 2-3 hours peaceful, stress-free. I don't want to get on the phone and start having a bunch of issues and start having problems and all that. I want to, again, bring peace into my relationship, bring peace into my mind. I don't want a bunch of nagging. That's me. Communication. I really like communication. And okay, I'm not saying any of these things because my previous people were any of these. I'm just realizing what I liked. Maybe I liked it about them. Maybe I didn't like it about them. But I'm just saying these things without shade. I'm saying these things Like, this is not an attack. This is just me telling you what I like. So be my mental peace. Help me with my mental peace, should I keep saying. I want to be shown love through... Okay, so do we all know the five love languages? And I'm going to try to say them all right now. Quality time, physical touch, acts of service, receiving gifts, words of affirmation. Those are the 5 love languages. And I know, after being through what I've been through, going through my life, whatever it has been, I know that my top love language is quality time. Quality time does it for me. And if we're not having quality time, I don't know if I can continue. Whether it's quality time in person, and in-person quality time is my best quality time for me. But if we can't get that on the phone, FaceTime, something. But even on the phone or FaceTime, I need it in person, and that's what I realized about myself. In addition to quality time, words of affirmation, like when someone says affirming words to me or they compliment me, it gives me something that just, it blows my mind. It makes me feel so happy. So between that and physical touch, because when we're together during that quality time, I like playing with you. I like playing with your hair, your fingers, your neck, your ears, whatever it is. I like playing with you. I like holding you, cuddling, all that stuff. Great. So that's what I learned about myself. What you need to do is learn about yourself. Learn what love language does it for you. What are your top 3 love languages? So you can explain to your partner, these are my love languages. This is how I want to be loved. And that's what you need to do while you're in that single stage. While you're in your single stage, and even if you're in a relationship already and you've never thought about the 5 love languages, think about it now. It's not too late, and you don't want it to be too late. Think about the 5 love languages and how you want to be loved. Get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. When you spend time with yourself, you'll be understanding of yourself. You'll understand how you want to be loved. What love languages are your top love languages? And you'll be able to communicate this to your partner. I believe having a good partner, you don't necessarily have to teach them how to love, but how you want to be loved. So someone can tell me, let's use this because I like it. I love quality time. My top love language is quality time. Okay, now I, as the partner, need to understand that quality time is their top love language, and I need to make time for them. Make dates, plan dates, whether it's an extravagant date, whatever thing they really like doing, climbing a mountain, or, go skydiving, whatever the quality time may be. Either that or chill in the house, cuddle, chill in the car, just hang out, relax, just spend time with each other, go for a walk, hold hands. So there's a difference between learning your partner's love language and learning love languages in general, learning how to love in general. Now, what's my lowest love language? I would say acts of service for me, or receiving gifts. So if someone was to say, oh, my love language is receiving gifts, I would then have to step out of my norm, step out of what I usually do. And if I don't know what to do when it comes to receiving gifts, go on YouTube. You're here right now to learn. Go on YouTube, find out how you can fulfill that love language. Receiving gifts, obviously, let me not say obviously, the title itself tells you what they want. They want to receive gifts, whether that's a cute little note. If you're shopping for yourself, you see something for them, buy it and tell them you were thinking about them and give them the gift. Again, flowers still blows my mind, but buy her a flower, give her a flower, buy him his favorite candy, make it cute. One of my friends she loves a good gift basket. Make a gift basket and give it to them. Super cute. Let's say she's on her period. Her love language is receiving gifts. Put together a period gift basket. I would say look up what to put in the gift basket, but figure out if she uses tampons, pads, or both. Put her favorite chocolate, her favorite candy, chips, drink. There are different pills for everyone, but figure out what pills she likes to use, what pills she usually uses. Wipes. Put all these things in the gift basket. A bath bomb, if she uses bath bombs. Figure out if she has a tub to use bath bombs. Shampoo, a candle. Put all these things in a nice little gift basket and kablooey. Maybe even write her a note. Put a note in the gift basket and write and give it to her. I believe that when you figure out and learn your own love languages, learn how you want to be loved, that increases your value, and you won't settle for anyone that comes, the next person that comes. A lot of times when we get out of a relationship, or a lot of times when we're single for a long time, we start questioning what is wrong with us. And sometimes our questioning of ourselves leads us to think that we're not valuable, or that we are not valued. So the first person that comes that does anything, it's like, okay, let me run to that person. But no, learn yourself, learn that you are valued, understand that you are valued. Focus on yourself, focus on building yourself. And when you focus on yourself, that's when people will come, they will see how valuable you are as a person. And when you understand yourself, you'll be able to tell other people how they can love you better, how they can do things to make you feel even more valuable, on top of how much you're valued already. You're learning yourself, you're learning about the love languages, and please learn the love languages. This in itself creates even more value. It gives you even more value than you already have. Learn the love languages, because when you get into that relationship, you have so much value already. You understand how to love that other person. You have so much value, you understand how to love that person. And that just puts you so much higher than a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand what love languages are and how to love someone with those love languages. That's why I'm trying to put it out there and let more people, the 1,000 subscribers that I have right now, I want you guys to all understand, all know what the love languages are. Understand what the love languages are, so you can understand how you need to be loved, how you want to be loved. And in that, again, your value will increase. And when your value increases, your standards will also increase, because you're not going to settle for any old body that just runs up to you. No, Mary, you got to prove yourself. What do you know about the love languages? Do you know how to love me? Do you know how to love me? If your top love language is acts of service and my top love language is quality time, do you know how to fulfill that love language, Mary? No. Now, what I want to do with you guys right now is hit each love language. And the biggest part of this is learning how to love yourself, learning how to fulfill the love languages for yourself. So let's hit each love language and see what we can do. Number one is quality time. As far as quality time goes, there are a couple things you can do as far as quality time. You can meditate. This is just spending time with either yourself or someone else. So we're talking about self-love, self-care. Meditate. Spend some time with yourself. Light a candle, journal, have a spa night. Do something really relaxing. Go on a nature walk. Yeah, go on a nature walk. For guys, again, you could go on that nature walk. My brother, he loves hiking. I love fishing. Go fishing. Spend some time with yourself. If you want to do something by yourself, play a game, play a video game. Go on campaign mode, play by yourself, or go on online mode, play with other people. Quality time. Next up is physical touch. Touch yourself. Let's say you just had a long day, a hard day of work, come home, take a shower. You just want to massage your neck, your hands, massage your face. I know there are face rollers that you can use. Massage your face, give yourself a hair wash. Wash your hair. I don't know why I said it like that. Massage your head. I can't massage my head right now because all my hair is going to come out even more than it's already out. Massage your legs, your feet. Even in physical touch, you can go out and get a massage. There's some areas you won't be able to reach, like your back. Just relax and get a massage. I think I want to book a massage, actually. I feel kind of tense. Another love language is words of affirmation. You go into the mirror when you wake up in the morning, wash your face, take a shower, or even before you take your shower, look at yourself. Maybe brush your teeth, because you want that breath to bounce off the mirror and hit you. But look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you are great, you are smart, you are beautiful. Or even look up self-affirmations and read them to yourself. One thing I used to do with one of my tutoring kids, one of my tutoring kids, is after every session, I would have her like clear her mind. We would stop all the work, and right before we sign off, I would have her say, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am unique. You know, I would have her say all these things just so that she can remind herself that she is all these things and she doesn't need anyone else to tell her that. Get yourself a list of affirmations and read them to yourself. Make sure you know these things about yourself. Next up, receiving gifts. Who doesn't like getting themselves a gift? You could go to the mall, walk through the stores, buy yourself a cinnamon. If the cinnamon is a nice gift for you. I don't know why I open my eyes so big. Buy yourself a cinnamon, buy yourself a nice watch, buy yourself anything, whatever it is, buy yourself a gift. Or if you don't want to go out in public, Go on Amazon, go on Shein, go on H&M, go on Aeropostale, go on Burberry, go on Michael Kors. Pick a place and go to it and get yourself a gift. And the gift doesn't necessarily have to be something fashionable. You can get yourself a gift card to Top Golf. Get yourself a gift card to Area 53. Get yourself a gift card to an arcade. Anything, just get yourself something. Next up is acts of service. I kind of had a little challenge with creating this list, but I got a few things. So, acts of service. Create a list of things like a to-do list, and start checking off some of those things from that list. You can do something like open a credit card and start building your credit. Another thing you can do is clean your living space. Wherever you reside, wherever you do your work, whatever you sleep, just clean it up. That's an act of service that will help you in the future. You don't want to go to sleep in a messy area. You don't want to do work in a messy area. Clean your space, clear your mind, and do what you need to do. When you adjust all the love languages, you know how you want to be loved. You know some ways to love yourself, some things that you can do to love your partner. Let's hit something else that you should focus on in your singleness and while you're alone and able to have free time to think about these things. Your deal breakers. All right, so for me, one of my biggest deal breakers would be your unwillingness to improve or your unwillingness to change. Let's say I was talking to one of my sisters about this last night. They asked me, what is one of my deal breakers? And I said, a liar. So yes, lying is a deal breaker to me. At the same time, it depends on how you lie, who you lie to, plethora of factors. But if I tell you, or if I ask you straight up, where are you going? And you say, I'm going to the mall with one of my female friends, and you end up at some guy's house. Bro, okay, whoa. But let's say, because a couple of my past people have done this. Where are you going? I'm going to the mall. What are you trying to buy? I'm just going to hang out. And then you end up going to the mall because you're getting me a gift, or you're trying to surprise me or something. Like, yes, you lied, but I understand why. Now, when it comes to willingness to change for me, let's say you were a liar and, we got into a relationship. You haven't really lied before, but you slip up and you lie. If you're willing to make a change and you're working on it, then, we can progress with the relationship. But if you're unable to change, if you don't seem like you're willing to work on whatever that issue is, whatever that flaw is, whatever is causing issues, problems in a relationship, then we just won't work out. So figure out what your deal breaker is, figure out what you won't stand for. If this happens, or really try to think about it, if this happens, will you no longer accept this person ever again? Will you just leave the relationship? Let's say you were in it for 4 years, will you abandon the relationship after 4 years of work that you put into it? All right, y'all. So I was watching my video. Clearly I was editing, as you can see on the computer. I was watching my video and I realized that I didn't hit something that is extremely important. And that is, in your time of singleness, or just in your time of thought, or whenever you're thinking, it is good to self-reflect. And in your time of self-reflection, and in this moment, you need to think about where you went wrong, because not everything about the relationship was wrong or it didn't work because of the other person. Maybe you were bad too. So I'm gonna use me as an example. I can have an attitude at times. I can have a bad attitude. I can get jealous. What else? I have low patience for certain things. So in my time of self-reflection, I need to pray, think about how I am able to have less of an attitude, or come across in a bad way, be less of a jerk, be more loving, be more caring. And I realized in my recent years of being more loving, being more caring, I've developed a lot more relationships than I had before. A lot more friendships, a lot more like real connections. And yeah, all that is just to say that not everything is always the other person. You need to self-reflect, think about where you went wrong, think about what you could have done better as a person. Because yeah, it's possible that you were in the wrong, that you did bad. So think about it. Just make sure you're doing the best that you can. All right, this video is already long enough, so let's get back to it. Also, since you're here, since you're watching, if you want to see more videos like this one, remember to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that you get notified every time I post a new video. All right, let's get back to it. You need to use this time to become whole again. Don't bring, and I'm mainly talking to people who were in a relationship and are now single, or you could be bringing baggage from your singleness into your next relationship, constantly questioning your value, constantly questioning your self-worth. And it's okay to be unsure, but we got to bounce back. Don't bring your baggage from your past relationship into your next relationship. You need to be healed. You need to be, I want to use the term made whole, but would you ever be perfectly whole? Even if you didn't have a relationship, even if you're in a great relationship, the perfect relationship, will you ever be 100%? That's my question. I personally don't think so, but leave a comment if you think otherwise. Don't take your burdens of, or try to heal, because I can't tell you not to take it. Try to heal before you take the burdens and the baggage into your next relationship. The constant being talked down on that your partner did from your last relationship, telling you that you aren't anything, telling you that you have no value, you bring no value to the relationship, the constant beating on you, the constant cheating. So whenever your partner goes out, you have to have their location so you can make sure they're not at a place that they said they wouldn't be. Getting out of a relationship where you guys never fulfilled each other's love language. So now you just get into this relationship and you're just used to just moseying on down. So now you get into this relationship and you're just used to just being in the relationship but not doing work in the relationship. Get rid of those baggages. Learn more about yourself, learn more about your partner, and make that adjustment. And while you're doing these things, while you're in your single stage, we can't get desperate to be in the next relationship, because like I said before, the next thing that approaches us, the next person that comes up to us and says, oh, I like you, you're going to jump on them. No, we're not going to jump on them. We're going to learn them. We're going to feel if we're ready to move on with a relationship, if they're bringing value to the relationship as a whole, if they're doing things that complement you, if they truly are a good fit for you. Because after being in past relationships, you understand what's not a good fit for you. After being in past relationships, you understand what you don't want to deal with. You understand what you will deal with, because no one's going to be perfect. No one's going to be absolutely perfect. It's going to be two completely different or slightly different people who are coming together to do their best to make it work. And they're putting in effort to do so. You're putting in effort to do so, and make sure they put in the same effort that you're putting in. Make sure you're not searching for your relationship to fulfill this void. You're not going into a relationship to fulfill desperation because you want the flowers that you see people getting on Valentine's Day, or you want the chocolates and you want to hold somebody's hand and all this stuff. Yeah, someone can be getting their hand held on social media, but getting abused behind the camera. They can be getting verbally, physically, mentally abused behind the camera. It's not always what is shown on social media. Make sure you understand yourself. Make sure you understand your love languages, your partners, because that good person will come when you're not necessarily searching for them. You're gonna see people that just are there, that show you attention, but you're not gonna grab the first person you see. You're gonna go through your options and see who's good for you, who's not good for you. And I personally, there's this scripture that says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And I agree with that, because I believe it is on the man to make a female his wife. At the same time, I don't believe that you can't, as a female, go out and put yourself out there or go make yourself known. And that doesn't mean you necessarily have to go out and chase after someone. No, just make sure they notice you, make sure they know you want them to notice you, and then fall back after that. You did your part. Even if it's going up and say, oh, you look cute, let's go out for coffee. Boom. It's been done to me. I've done it to other people. Well, not coffee necessarily, but just make yourself known. Put yourself out there, build a relationship, and then I believe it's on the male to do the rest. Take that next step. But don't do these things if you don't feel like you're over your last relationship, if you don't feel like you're healed. Don't just go out and put yourself out there and just mess up the potential of your next relationship. Yeah, self-care, all these things that we talked about today, it's not only for those who are single. Make sure you're doing these things even in your relationship, with your partner, without your partner. Encourage your partner to do it for themselves so they can understand how they need to be loved so they can communicate with you how they want to be loved. If your partner does not understand what their love language is, how are they going to tell you how you want to be loved? So you're going to be telling them, you're going to be giving them all this advice on how you want to be loved, all this stuff, but then they can't reciprocate that. They can't tell you how you want to be loved. A lot of times for me, I'm able to look at my friends and get a decent gauge on what their top love language is. And I try to fulfill that love language even as a friend, whether it's quality time. Some of my friends just love quality time. Some of my friends love physical touch, words of affirmation. It's like, as I say each love language, like a certain friend is popping up, or a certain sister is popping up, or something, or my brother is popping up. Understand the love languages, fulfill the love languages, practice fulfilling other people's love language. And this is not necessarily only for a relationship. Fulfill it to your friends, your family, and it'll be that much easier when you get into a relationship to understand how to work on your partner with those love languages. When you get into a relationship, it'll be that much easier to fulfill their love language. So whether you're single or you're in a relationship, make sure you do something for yourself this Valentine's Day. Make sure you don't necessarily have to go all out. Again, if your love language is quality time, plan that dinner. Take yourself out to eat. If your love language is acts of service, plan your next 3 months. Make a to-do list, check things off that list. If it's physical touch, go get a massage, do something. Just because you're single on Valentine's Day does not mean you can't celebrate Valentine's Day. Do something for yourself. Remember, there's greatness in you. So go out there and be great. Deuces.